I said, Mom, someone wants to know what you think about using you as my material or whatever. And she goes, well, she does talk about me quite a bit. And I have never been compensated. And I
went... We watched your special in our screening room last night, and we were laughing out loud from start to finish.
Oh, thank you.
And Bert kept going, Fortune's always been really good.
Yeah.
But I think this is her best special.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That's cool.
I loved it.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
You looked amazing. I loved your pink suit. Your makeup was perfect.
Thank you.
Girly stuff out of the way. But I just loved everything you talked about. Talking about your relationship with your mom and how Jax came in and your mom is like, what is happening here? And they both having February's birthday. So funny.
Yeah, this special ended up not by design being all about my wife and my mom with a few other stories in between. But it just kind of was where my life was at. I tend to do very autobiographical things, and when I'm writing an hour, I'm like, what is happening in my life now? What are the things I'm experiencing? And I just felt like I had sort of entered into a more adult world where I think that's why I did the suit and tried to make the special look a little more elevated, like a more put together version of myself.
It was beautifully shot.
Oh, thank you. I was really proud of everything. And I felt like it was my best one, but you're so close to the material that it's hard to really know. But the response has been amazing, and just trying to tell relatable stories. And it's funny how many people have come up to me and said like, "Oh, I'm my mom's husband." Just that dynamic of like having a single mom who like really relies on a child to sort of be their anchor and fill that void, to emotionally, obviously, and just what that's like when you do meet the person who is now, your forever plus one, your person. That sometimes a mother feels like, oh, where's my place now?
Yeah.
So yeah, just kind of exploring that.
You did a great job exploring that. I felt like I was with you.
Yeah?
Yes, with the two of them.
Yeah.
And I thought this must be weird and hard, and because you don't want to leave your mom, but at the same time you're like, are you crazy? I'm supposed to get married.
Right.
This is what I'm supposed to be doing.
And at the end of the day, my mom always wants me to be happy.
Of course.
That is the most important thing. It was just some growing pains in the beginning because I really had not had very serious relationships. I had a couple girlfriends here and there, but no one where I'm like, even thinking of proposing to her. And when my mom realized this was more serious, it was like, oh, this, this person is around now. And they're just very different. That's the other thing too. Sometimes they say you marry your mom, and I'm like, I definitely.
How are they different?
My mom's a free spirit, very eccentric, as you can tell from a lot of those stories. Yeah. Like that cemetery story is almost verbatim. Her calling me. Aside from me writing some punchlines here and there, I'm almost telling you exactly what she told me. So she's just an eccentric person, very fun. But that with that comes some like highs and lows where it's a little chaotic. You're just like, and Jax is very centered, very like has boundaries.
Yes.
There's no gray area with her. She's very black and white about her feelings and a little more reserved. My mom's like touchy feely and so my mom thinks she can kind of win people over with her charm if she's been like a little bit of a pain in the ass. Yeah. She's like, oh, I can, just work my way out of this. And Jax is like, no, so it's just very funny to see them navigate that. But at the end of the day, everyone gets along. They really do. And it's just, we live 3,000 miles away from my mom. So they just don't get to spend a lot of time together.
Right. Wife of the Party is sponsored by DraftKings. Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs? You bet we are. Get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Scoring touchdowns is key to winning the playoffs, and you can score big by betting on them at DraftKings, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like player to score 6. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. Fantasy football's over. We had a league in our office, but I cannot wait to start talking about the playoffs. Trash talking the bets we made on DraftKings is my favorite part of the day. Download DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code LeeAnn, that's LeeAnn, for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Wife of the Party is sponsored by BetterHelp. What do you want your 2025 story to be? Every January brings your 365 blank pages waiting to be filled. In 2025, maybe you're ready for a plot twist, or maybe there's a part of your story you've been waiting to revise. Life isn't about resolutions that fade by February. It's about picking up the pen and becoming the author of your own life. Think of therapy as your editorial partner, helping you write new chapters and create meaningful story you deserve to live. I've been in therapy for years, and I definitely believe that therapy makes resolutions for the new year easier. It holds you accountable. It makes you think through what you want. Having a think partner in your life that has experience in education and mental health and balance and wellness is so invaluable. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable and convenient, serving over 5 million people worldwide. Access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists with a wide range of specialties. Easily switch therapists anytime at no cost. Write your story with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/wife to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/wife. So did you marry your dad?
No, didn't marry him either.
That's so funny.
I know. She's very different from my dad, too. He's very go with the flow, like, whatever. He's just kind of a simple guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He don't want to go anywhere. He don't want to travel.
How funny.
He's like fine and doing whatever.
That's so funny. Excuse me. I didn't think I married my dad.
Yeah.
I married my dad.
You did?
100%. Yeah.
But in what ways do you think?
Sorry.
No worries.
Sorry.
Get that liquid death.
I know, right? My dad, I didn't know my dad was anxious.
Yeah.
Until I was an adult.
Mm-hmm.
And married someone with anxiety. And I went, oh.
Yeah.
My dad has anxiety.
Interesting. Yeah.
I had no idea.
Sorry.
I didn't know. Excuse me.
We're both adjusting.
I know, right? I didn't know how sensitive my dad was.
Yeah.
Until I married a sensitive man and went, okay, my dad was very fragile in that way. And I thought, because he could fix any car and chop down a tree and, build a house.
He was Mr. Tough Guy.
He was a tough guy. But then I married Bert and I was like, interesting. This is sort of like exactly how my dad is.
Yeah.
And on paper, they could not look more different.
Oh, funny.
He has a little bit of my mom too. My mom was always like, had to be the center of attention. My dad was never like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty fascinating when you start looking around at the choices you make, how they come from where you grew up or how you grew up.
Yeah. And for you, like with attention, being married to someone who loves it and craves it is a big part of his career. Are you, like, you don't strike me as someone who needs to be the center of attention.
No, I don't need to be the center of attention. I do, though. I think one of the things I do struggle with sometimes because I've helped him creatively.
Yeah.
I'm one of the people that he, spitballs ideas with and brainstorms, and I've produced like the last 4 specials. And so I do partner with him a lot. And a lot of people don't know that.
Right.
And so a lot of times I do feel like she's the wifey.
Right.
When I've done far more than that. Now, if I hadn't done anything to take credit for, I don't think I would feel that way.
Yeah.
But because I have actually done stuff, then I go, well, hold on, actually. I helped in all these things. I edited his whole book. I did all this stuff. But I just don't get credit for it like globally.
Right.
So
that's always the case with, that happens with us too. Jax has been the executive producer on my last 3 hours and is very creatively involved, and we spitball things, and she's involved with the design and like, what about these ideas? She's very looking up other people's specials and what do they do that's cool, and so no one knows that either, but I try to be better, especially on this special, to just be like, she's killing it.
Yeah.
Like, she's a part of this and bringing this to life. And, it's awesome to have someone like you guys with the ability to help in that way.
Right.
And to elevate us.
It's pretty fun. I think it's really fun to be, this sounds really weird, but I think I always liked the loud guy in the room.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't want to be the loud guy.
Right.
But I want to be his girlfriend. That's what I've always been.
Yeah.
My dad lived with 2 other guys, and they were all like
the golden guys.
They were the golden guys. So true. It was like the golden guys. It was 3 bachelors in one house.
Oh, funny.
And I lived with my dad from May to September every year.
Oh, really?
The whole time, all summer break. And then like over winter break.
Yeah.
And then I lived with my mom during the school year. She had custody of me.
Yeah.
So for that 3 months in the summer, I had 3 dads. And then one of the other guys had a son that's 2 years younger than me.
Yeah.
So it was like being raised by wolves. But it was like they were constantly partying.
Yeah.
They were constantly doing stupid shit like pulling the mattress off the bed and having wrestling matches for money in the living room.
Oh my God. So then this whole world is not anything crazy or weird. Because sometimes I wonder that. I'm like, how does LeeAnn deal with the party, the big, all this stuff? But
I love it.
Started way long ago.
Yes, I love it. I mean, my Sunday job was to pick up beer cans out of the yard.
That is
because they'd have such these big parties, and there'd be like, I'm not joking. I think one day we picked up like 8 lawn and leaf bags full of just beer cans.
Dang, dad liked to party.
My dad liked to party. My dad had a blast.
That Florida? That was Florida?
Georgia.
That was Georgia. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's rural Georgia. But my dad's whole moniker was like, let's have a good time.
Yeah.
So it's not a big mystery that I married somebody whose moniker is.
Totally tracks now.
Right?
Yeah.
Doesn't it? And I'm such a dude in that I didn't get along with my mom. I didn't like my mom, and we did not have a great relationship.
Yeah.
But I got along really great with my dad.
Yeah.
So I think I picked up a lot of my like thought processes and my emotionality from my dad. Luckily, he was a little sensitive like Bert, so I did get some of that. But But yeah, I'm all about how can we have a good time?
Yeah.
Like Fully Loaded.
Yeah.
When we started doing Fully Loaded, I was like, this needs to be fun.
Y'all have more activities than anyone I've ever seen.
Because it's got to be fun. That's totally
Yeah.
the 2 of us. We've always been like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to be the girlfriend of the loud guy at the party. I don't want to be the loud guy. I don't need to be.
But you're helping you're creating the party for the guys to enjoy.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And doing and making sure everyone has a good time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's my lane.
That's great.
To plan the party, make sure everybody has a good time.
Yeah.
And then give me a cheers at the end of the night. Thanks for doing all this, and I'm happy.
Gotcha.
That's all I ask for.
For sure.
This life with Bert's been so fun.
Yeah.
And I don't think being married to a comedian is for everybody.
I would say, it's probably not for a lot of people.
Yeah,
I just because from I think about my own experience, and it's just all consuming.
Yeah.
It's hard to be a stand-up these days and it not rule your life. And it doesn't stop at stand-up. It's like acting and hosting things and podcasts and radio shows and press and social media. It's like never ending. I mean, every job is hard, but it is just, comics tend to just, I think, have a tunnel vision where all we think about is like constant jokes, stand-up work, what needs to be done next. And being married to that, I would imagine you start to feel like, well, what am I doing here? Where's my place in this? This can't take over our entire life.
Right.
You know? That's got to be a challenge.
Yeah, I think so. I would imagine it would be a big challenge, especially if someone had a career that wasn't in line. Like if I were a banker.
Yeah. Yeah. But if you're a banker, you know, 6 p.m. you go home and you're not thinking about banking. Usually,
no.
The bankers can write in and let us know. I would assume you're not banking. You know, thinking about banking on the weekends.
Not much.
But yeah, there's no off button.
No.
Though I just took 2 weeks. I was telling you earlier to just rot on my couch.
Yeah.
but that's so extreme too, where Jax is like, you want to do anything?
Right. No.
I was like, no, shutting it down.
It is a tough thing to be a comic. Bert has been talking about this a lot. You know, we're empty nesters. Our kids were home for a while.
Yeah.
And they just both left.
Yeah.
And now he's like, if he is not writing a joke or getting on stage or in a podcast, he literally says to me, I'm worthless.
Aww.
I am useless. And I go, so not true.
Right.
You accomplished, if you stopped today and did nothing else for your whole life, you've accomplished 3 lifetimes of stuff.
Of course. Yeah.
But that's, to your point, that comic's brain just never stops going, what's next? What's next? What's the next joke? What's the next hour?
Yeah.
What's the next hosting gig? What's the next acting thing? What's the next creative thing I can wrap my head around? Because it's, well, at least for Bert, it's definitely that perpetual creativity is where his self-worth lies. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, and I think a lot of us stand-ups are guilty of that, sort of placing our worth in what does the audience think and how does this joke feel? I mean, I think I celebrated my last, this Crushing It special for like a week, and then that's it. You're just like, okay, what's next now? And it's almost like that's done, moving on.
Yep.
And you don't even really, all the work it took to get there and all the shows, and you're just like, you celebrate it and then it's over.
Yeah.
It's just brutal.
And then you got to start over.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like you're the Eagles and you can write a new album, but you got all these hits that you can keep playing. It's all new.
Wouldn't that be nice? Can you imagine? We just get up there and get to sing Margaritaville every night. God, what a treat that would be. And I'm sure that the flip side of that is some of those musicians are probably so over these songs that it's just so monotonous. I guess as hard as it is to write a new hour, it's such a cool thing to like discover new stories and jokes, and that keeps you feeling a little alive, I think,
Yeah, and like you had said to me earlier, you write from like where you are. Where am I in my life right now?
Yeah.
That's such an amazing, I would imagine that's an amazing process. We were Bert and I were talking last night. We had a date last night at dinner. I was like, I stopped taking pictures. And I think I stopped taking pictures because I don't want to post my life on social media.
I get that.
And what's the purpose of a picture now? Like you used to take a picture.
Print them out, put them on a wall.
Yes.
Yeah.
And have this memory.
Yeah.
Well, the way we keep memories nowadays is like Facebook and
on an
Instagram.
iCloud. Yeah.
And I don't want some of those memories to be public. So now I don't know what to do with them.
Isn't that interesting?
Isn't it? Wife of the Party is sponsored by Via. 2025. A new you and a new year full of new possibilities. Don't let the bad times of 2024 bring you down. This year, reach new heights with Via. Trusted by over 500,000 happy customers, Via is the Swiss Army knife of wellness, dedicated to harnessing the natural benefits of hemp to create high-quality wellness products. Whether you're looking to improve your sleep, focus, recovery, add a little pep to your step, or just get high, Via has something for you. Unlock the power of nature with Via's organic and vegan hemp extracts, perfect for relaxation and rejuvenation. Via is the only lifestyle hemp brand. They use compounds found in hemp along with active plant extracts to create products, each with a specific effect in mind. Whether you want to get better sleep, ease anxiety, or enhance your mood, they have something for you. Sleep, in my middle age, has always been a challenge, and Via offers so many options to help me sleep. I really like how that supports my health and wellness. If you're 21 plus, check out the link to Via in our description and use the code WIFE to receive 15% off. And if you're new to Via, get a free gift of your choice. After you purchase, they ask you where you heard about them. Please, please support our show and tell them we sent you. This year, enhance your everyday with Via. Wife of the Party is sponsored by Shopify. So it's a new year, 2025, and you're thinking, how am I going to make this year different? How am I going to build something for myself? I'm dying to be my own boss or see if I can turn this business idea I've been kicking around into a reality, but I don't know how to make it happen. Shopify is how you're going to make it happen. And let me tell you how. The best time to start your new business is right now. Get your store up and running easily with thousands of customizable templates. No coding or design skills required. All you need to do is drag and drop. Their powerful social media tools let you connect all your channels and create shoppable posts and help you sell everywhere people scroll. Shopify makes it easy to manage your growing business. They help with the details like shipping, taxes, and payments from one single dashboard, allowing you to focus on the important stuff like growing your business. We've been using Shopify for years for the BertBertBert.com online store, and it makes running an online store so simple. I can track my inventory, I can track my sales, all at my fingertips. Established in 2025 has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/wife, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/wife to start selling with Shopify today. Shopify.com/wife, all lowercase. It's kind of, oh, geez.
Look at this. Look at this. I saw you with Arnold again. It made me think about this Gold Gym.
I have to say this.
Yeah. Oh, there he is.
Wait.
Birdie boy.
We watched your special last night.
Yeah.
Bert, you have a mic on the couch.
Where? Fuck.
You just wanted to be close to me, didn't you?
I have to make something to eat. I'm so hungry. So I have to say this. I've been doing comedy since I was 26. I'm 52. How long is that?
A long time.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Long time.
32 years?
Yeah. I think we're not good with math.
26 years? Something like that.
20.
What you want, I've released 6 specials. And what you want in a special is you want to grow in every special and be a little better than you were. For whatever fucking reason, you are so much better. And your specials have always been good. So much better as a comic in this special.
Oh.
You are so fucking good in this special. I kept saying to LeeAnn, hold on. When did this, Fortune, it is a monumental shift.
Really?
In your storytelling.
Holy cow.
The essence of what you do, and I'm getting on stage tonight because of it.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not fucking doing shit. I was so impressed. Fortune.
So thank you for the night off, Fortune.
I know, this is my bad. Oh,
I'm happy about it.
I was going to take you to dinner in Hollywood.
Oh, no.
And take me to the club?
No.
Oh.
We'll go our separate ways.
Oh, okay.
But I need something to do. I can't just wait until fucking 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Why can't we do stand up at 7?
I know.
But
we can.
Fortune,
you can.
Fortune, you have grown so much as a comic. You're so seamlessly, casually brilliant in this special.
Thanks, bud.
I was blown away. I the whole special.
He
all I
probably
kept
said
saying
it
is like, this
15
is like,
times.
this is a fucking totemic shift. I mean, this is in comedy. What you're doing is so fun.
Aw.
It's so fun, but it's so brilliantly done and
Thank you for
effortlessly. I was so blown away by the special that I had to come in and say that, or I would be.
Well, no, that means so much. I feel like we have so many friends putting out specials that no one. We watch some, but no one watches, and it means a lot. You watched it.
This is a special. It is a special.
It's so good.
It is special. The way you talk about Jackson,
it's delicious.
Is everything about it.
The Hardee's biscuits, girl, I am on your page.
Right, those are good.
The best biscuits I ever had. I had them every day on the way to high school. That's what I had: sausage gravy biscuit or a steak and egg biscuit.
Yeah,
from Hardee's. It's one fast food restaurant in my hometown, and it was Hardee's.
That's a jam.
But it is the jam. And I have walked through the drive-thru.
Yeah, right.
At Hardee's.
I fucking loved this special.
Thank you so much.
I'm so proud to be your friend in watching that. 'Cause it's like, listen, we all know how great Burr is and how great Tommy is. And like, we get it. I'm not shitting on them, but like, we get it. When you see them, it's cool to be their friend and know that they're that talented. But like, it reminded me of the first time I saw how good Burr was.
Yeah.
And I was like, or Sebastian. I remember the first time I saw how good Sebastian was. And a guy I had known for a long time and I thought was funny. All of a sudden I saw him in a different light. And I went like, the one where he wore the teal sweater or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
I was like, I went up and I go, dude, you're fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, yeah, thanks. I know. And I was like, it's total Sebastian.
I know.
But like, watching this special, I kept saying to LeeAnn,
over and over.
What did she do? Did she like, and you know what? I think I said it, maybe I said it to LeeAnn. Someone said, I wonder if it's her podcast with,
that was me.
It was you.
I said, she's been hanging out with two amazing comics.
That always helps for sure. The only thing I can think is that, I've been doing stand-up now since 2007. However many years that is.
12.
But I
don't know.
17? I don't know.
No, it's 2025.
Wait, 27
so
would be
20. 18 years.
Minus 3 would be
We're
17.
terrible
We're on 17. 17 years.
We can write jokes, not math.
Yeah.
And I always liked it and would do it and did all the clubs for all those years. But then after the Sweet and Salty came out, it took my touring to a new level. And so for the last 2 tours, so in the last 3 years, I've done 100 cities, 150 shows each tour in a year and a half, back to back, no break.
Amazing.
And so the only thing I can think is that I've just been putting in the hours.
Yeah.
And
it shows. It shows because it's, I'll tell you, it's not like, I don't know the right way to say this. I'll tell you, I feel like me and you do something very similar in that we're storytellers. Mm-hmm. We're not slamming anybody. We're not like, and no disrespect, but in a time when like all the roasts are getting all this love about, and the roast writers are such great joke writers.
Yeah, they
and it's technically something that me and you are not great at.
I'm not good at
but it's hard to defend.
Right?
Yeah,
it's hard to defend to someone who casually is a fan of comedy, where they go like, hey, I did Jelly Roll's roast, and they're like, you did great. But they were talking about, because I got heckled and I dealt with it. That's what they liked.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I'm like, I'm not good at roasts. It's hard to explain to someone. But then when you see what you do on stage, I almost felt like that's what we do.
But that's the art form, right?
It's a part of the art form.
Yes.
It's a part of the art form. There's so many different things that people do in comedy. But what I do is a lot like what you do.
We want people to have fun
and connect with us and
feel relatable, relatable stories and have a good time and tell stories and we're looking on the positive side of things versus like let me point out a crappy thing about somebody.
Yeah, it's elevating. You're elevating your issue with my mom is now threatened by my wife. Mm-hmm. You elevated that into a place with levity.
Yeah.
So that someone else can go, oh, my mom is threatened by my girlfriend. I know what this is.
Yeah, relatable things that just you can make light of,
What are you
I remembered that joke. I just remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go make shashuka.
Thank you.
I love you to death. You're fucking amazing.
That means a lot. I really do appreciate that.
And LeeAnn, I am going to get some drinks before my set at the store tonight.
Okay.
Me and you're going to dinner at roughly I'm going to get a reservation. I was thinking at the sushi restaurant next to the store.
Okay.
And do dinner there. Get done around 9, do my spot, and I'll meet you at home.
Sounds great.
Right.
It's a date. 2 date nights in a row.
Is that how y'all's plans usually come together?
Yeah.
He just says this is what's happening.
Oh, no.
Oh,
That's
okay.
not how it usually
He's
goes.
just on a mission today.
What he's doing is taking care of himself for his show.
Gotcha.
So
All right.
he's making sure he's not by himself before he goes on stage.
He's going to the store tonight?
He's going to the store.
Yeah.
He's probably going to talk to me about what he wants to talk about on stage because he hasn't been on stage in a while.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about, Georgia is studying abroad and she had a journey of like bad weather for a flight.
Yeah.
One bag didn't make a flight. Like she just had one of those to 3 different layovers to get to where she's studying.
Right. That's no fun.
And we made it as a family. We made it through. And I'm sure he wants to sit like she got there today.
Yeah.
And then our day's been so busy we hadn't talked about that.
Right.
So we'll go to dinner and just be like, can you believe she made it?
Yeah.
And then talk about probably no, usually actually I will say
let's go do something.
Let's go do something. And then we'll figure it out together.
Gotcha.
It's like last March. Oh, was it last March? This March will be 2 years. 2 years ago, I was like, we don't really date anymore.
Yeah.
We're not like dating. We'll go get dinner. We'll go get tacos or whatever. But we don't like, let me take you to dinner.
Yeah.
Or I got tickets to the movies. We don't really think like that
Did y'all
anymore.
adjust that?
We did.
You did?
And it's been amazing.
So, and you adjusted how? Just by like finding more unique things to do than just like going to dinner or?
Yes. And we started buying each other gifts for no reason.
Oh, okay.
And we started it's a slight shift in focus. When you're dating somebody, you think about them differently.
Interesting.
You think about them like all the time.
Yeah.
And you don't necessarily want to think about your spouse all the time. You have work to do. We have 2 kids. I've got friends. But I had started thinking about him so little in that way.
Interesting, yeah.
That just to add like 10% back in made like an 80% difference.
Wow.
It was really profound, the difference it made for the little amount of effort. The simple things like holding hands while we drive.
Oh,
we used to do that when we dated.
Yeah.
And then you got kids and there's snacks flying and you got shit everywhere and you're probably gross and you just don't think about it. And I just actively make an effort to hold his hand while he drives.
Okay.
And that's not that deep.
Yeah.
But it's very sweet.
You're right. These little things add up.
They do.
And you do forget about them pretty easy.
And connection, one of the things I thought of is the only time we really connect is when we have sex. So we don't spend our days like, he doesn't rub my back. I'm not an affectionate person. I'm not a PDA person.
Yeah.
But the reason for it became like to just like be connected. To just say, I see you, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Just in the slightest ways.
Yeah.
Has really been what it's about.
That's great. I'll put that in the old noggin. Yeah.
Bert does for me is he cooks me breakfast almost every day without me asking.
Oh, wow.
Because he loves to cook.
Yeah.
And I love breakfast.
Yeah.
And it's the simplest, easiest. He's like, let me make you breakfast.
Yeah.
Makes it almost every day.
And does he decide what you're going to have?
Yep.
And it's just like, does it change? It changes every day?
It changes. And he knows what I like, what I don't like. And what that does for me is that I feel like he really knows who I am.
Yeah.
So he's not making me something crazy I won't eat.
Right.
I don't know. It's been a really interesting thing to observe going through, to just make that decision and apply it and to see how it affects all these other things.
Because what? Once you've been with someone for so long, it's the beauty of it is that it's so comfortable.
Yes.
But that can also be the like part that you need to not get too comfortable where you're not trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just kind of take it for granted.
Yeah.
You know, and not in a negative, mean way.
Yeah.
You just,
life happens.
yeah, life happens.
Yeah.
I mean, so anyway, yeah, we've been planning dates and doing stuff a little out of the ordinary. A friend of mine said to me, she and her husband, who they have 2 kids, but from the beginning, they always took turns and they would each plan a date every other month.
Oh,
they just started it like she would plan his birthday month.
Okay.
He would plan hers, and then they kind of every othered it between the 2.
Yeah.
And it was something, you know, more than just let's go to dinner.
Right.
It was like concert tickets to something you want to see,
Yeah.
or an overnight in a hotel, a staycation, or something just a little extra once a month.
I know I'm not the world's best planner.
No.
It is I'm good at being like, let's go to dinner, but that's so, you know, middle of the road. I'm not as good at finding some like unique kind of like, oh, that this person's in town, let's go see this concert.
Yeah.
So maybe I just need to open my eyes a little bit more and see what's going on around, if there's any fun things to do.
It's hard it's not hard. It's a little hard to get into the habit of it, right? To start thinking that way, kind of outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I started doing is I hate junk email. I freaking hate it.
Yeah.
But I started reading like the access ticket emails when they sell you, this is who's in town. And this is what's on sale.
Yeah.
Whereas before I'd be like, delete.
Yeah.
And then I started going, hold on, let me see about that.
Uh-huh.
And let me see if there is anybody,
Yeah.
even if they're kind of obscure,
Right.
that we might want to go see. We've seen more music since I started just simply reading that
Really?
email.
And you enjoy it. You're just like,
Love it.
Yeah. That's great.
Love it. That's one of the, because he and I both are really into music.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I started doing is just simply reading that stupid email.
I like it.
Just thought was junk.
Yeah. All of your listeners out here might be revving up their date nights now.
You know, it's not that hard.
Come on, guys.
Come on now. Do you love the holidays? Yes. Does eating, drinking, and being merry start to take a toll on my health? Also, yes. By the time the new year's approaching, I know my body is desperately craving a reset, and Prolon by L-Nutra does just that. Prolon's 5-day program doesn't just give my system a break from sugar, refined grains, alcohol, and other excesses, but by doing it at the start of the year, it helps me jumpstart my health and sets me up for success all year long. I know a 5-day fast might sound overwhelming, but Prolon is a fast with food. It's pretty much a game changer. Prolon's fasting mimicking diet is a revolutionary plant-based nutrition program that nourishes the body while making cells believe they're fasting. Researched and developed for decades at USC's Longevity Institute and backed by leading U.S. medical centers, Prolon helps promote healthy blood sugar, enhanced skin appearance, fat loss, and improved energy and focus. It all starts with their 5-day program. Snacks, soups, and beverages designed to keep your body in a fasting state. No guesswork or planning required, which is a relief after a busy holiday. 3 consecutive cycles of Prolon have been shown to reduce your biological age score by an average of 2.5 years and your waist circumference by 1.5 inches. What I like about Prolon is you really don't have to think about what you're doing. It comes in a very easy to follow kit type package that has your teas, your snacks, your soups. Everything is ready to be mixed, heated, opened up, and enjoyed. Just in time for the new year, Prolon is offering Wife of the Party listeners 15% off their 5-day nutrition program for your post-holiday glow up when you go to prolonlife.com/wife. That's PROLON life.com/wife for 15% off. prolonlife.com/wife. Although we did have a moment that was a little embarrassing. So Bert had a dream that I was a nurse.
Yeah.
And so he said to me, if I buy you a nurse's outfit, would you wear it?
Oh my God.
And
Hilarious.
I was like, yeah, I'll wear it. I mean, we've been together 23 years. Okay.
Spice it up.
You know, we're pretty meat and potatoes, but
Right.
yeah, why not?
Yeah.
So he bought this nurse's outfit. We wore it. We had a blast, whatever. But when I took it off, we have like a trunk at the bottom of our bed.
Yeah.
And I laid it on the trunk. and forgot about it.
Uh-huh.
And her kids were home for Christmas.
Hilarious.
And I was like, can I borrow a pair of socks? I said, sure.
Yeah.
She comes back in the living room and she's like, Mom.
Oh my God.
What is this nurse's outfit? And I was like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed.
That is so funny.
That I hid behind the kitchen counter and Bert had just taken a sip of water and he spit water out all over me because we are, again, so meat and potatoes.
Right.
And the one time we took a walk on the wild side, I just left it. I'm not used to having kids at home.
I was about to say they've been gone for a minute.
Yes.
So.
I'm so embarrassed. So I don't know if we'll be doing anything like that anytime soon again.
That is
but
so funny.
It was pretty funny.
I love that.
It was pretty funny.
There's not a lot of costumes I would fit into that Jax would be like, oh yeah.
No nurse, maybe doctor.
Maybe a doctor.
Maybe a doctor.
Some scrubs.
Maybe so. I don't know. And being married is an interesting journey. You know, my mom has been married 6 times.
6 times.
6 times, you know?
Whoa.
I guess it was good. You just keep repeating it. I don't know.
You would think it like after 4, you would be like, let whoever I date next, let's just stay.
Or after 4, would you start going, maybe it's me?
That too, but some people like that. I don't know your mom.
Maybe it's me. It's her.
I don't know if the self-reflection happens, but I would just like not want to deal with the government part of it. You know what I mean? Like
yes.
assets and figuring all that. Like after everyone, you're like, I mean, unless she was benefiting from that.
No, she wasn't. I think No, I don't think she was benefiting from it.
She just liked to be married.
She liked the romance of the beginning.
I see.
I think without the reality of the work.
Hard.
Yes, that's right. Once the work started, she was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this, and just was out.
Did you guys ever get closer?
My mom? No, I don't have a relationship with her still. No.
Okay.
No, unfortunately, I think we don't see eye to eye so profoundly that I just, I just can't do it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's a little deeper than that. But
yeah, I'm sure.
It's pretty.
My mom and I had a very complicated relationship when I was younger.
Yeah.
And did not get along for many years. And that might be a mother-daughter thing, especially when you're young. Like you just butt heads all the time. And yeah, there were times when I was young in college, I was like, I don't know if we'll ever have a relationship. This seems impossible.
Yeah.
And then when I moved 3,000 miles away, turned out we just needed some space. And it gave her time to grow. She grew a lot, and it gave me time to miss her. Mm-hmm. And the space, I think, saved our relationship to the point where, and I know I have a time limit, and we laugh about it. You know, it's I can't be with her for longer than 5 days,
right?
Sometimes 4, until I start getting antsy, and then she would argue we could go a week. We'll see. I've just been so busy, but now we get along, really well, and it is nice that we came out of that.
Right.
But I know that's not always the case.
It's not always the case. I think my mother has never been diagnosed, but I think she has some personality disorder stuff.
Maybe.
And I think it's just, she has a hard time allowing someone a reality that she doesn't think she has a hard time. If you don't line up with what she thinks, there's no space at whatsoever.
Right.
And no space looks very nasty. It's not like, oh, well, agree to disagree.
Right.
It's not like that.
Yeah,
it's like, you're dead to me. I never want to see you again. I don't want to know your children. I'm never seeing you again.
It's tough
and
to
then
reconcile.
I don't see her for years. And then she'll show up like nothing happened. And then the cycle repeats.
Gotcha.
And we've done through that. We did that cycle 3 times.
Until you finally go. And now I have a boundary here.
At the 3rd time, I went, you're not going to do this to my kids.
Yeah.
I can't have you do this to my kids.
Yeah.
Whatever we entered this life in agreement, fine. But my kids didn't need this shit. So we're not going to do this to them.
That's fair. Yeah.
And that's when I just went, that I'm not repeating this cycle.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
So I hope she's happy. I've always hoped that she's happy.
Yeah.
But yeah, 6 marriages.
Yeah.
So
it's like Gwyneth Paltrow in the end of that trial. I wish you well. That's what she said to that guy.
Yeah.
I wish you well.
Yeah. I wish my mom nothing but the best.
Yeah, of course.
Really,
I mean, listen.
And I love her.
Yeah.
I mean, I am myself because of her.
Yeah.
And she had a lot of I'm sure still, a lot of positive qualities. But I just don't think she likes me. And I think I'm pretty damn
You're
likable.
pretty great. Yeah. It's so interesting, those family dynamics, there's.
Why did your mom and you butt heads when you were younger? Was it about was she controlling? Was she not controlling enough? Was she?
A lot of it started when my parents divorced. They divorced when I was 12, and I think it just rocked her world, As an adult, I can understand those feelings better than I could as a kid.
Especially 12.
Yeah.
That's a hard age.
She just got really sad and depressed and kind of, she'd be the first one to admit this. She kind of disappeared as she went to work and did her responsibilities and stuff, but she just was so consumed by those wounds that she couldn't really see beyond it. And I'm like, I'm 12.
Yeah.
When
I two older brothers?
I had 2 older brothers. So they were one had just moved to college. So he was, facing new independence, and the other one got his license. So he was out of there. So I was lit at like 12, like, okay. I learned to sort of take care of myself and get my own needs met. And I sort of was like the little adult of the house, the responsible one that, made sure I did well in school. But my mom was, she was always very academic focused. She was big on me having good grades and help, applying to scholarship. She wasn't like neglectful in that way. Like she just was dealing with her own pain. And I had my grandmother lived around the corner. So I had a steady anchor during that time, which I think made a big difference. And so then my mom entered the era of dating. And so our big butting heads became that the dating took precedent. The new boyfriend took precedent over everything.
With the industrial ice machine.
Yeah, that was the ice machine guy. That was the one. And I know, again, as an adult, I can look back and see what was happening. What was happening is someone made her feel good.
Yeah.
And a renewed sense of self and self-esteem. And who doesn't want to, go towards that?
Totally.
Instead of, as I think it's more normal now for people to go to therapy and work on the problems. It was easier then to just put a Band-Aid on it. Oh, this makes me feel good now. I'm good.
Yeah.
When you don't realize that all these other things are not good. But, we say now, like, you learn from that stuff. And I know she's hates that stuff sort of took priority for a big chunk of time, and you can't change it. But the best you can do is learn from it and be better. And so it is nice to be an adult, and if you go through something, being able to call your mom and get some advice. So I imagine it's tough when that's not the case. And I remember those days of not being able to call her.
Yeah.
It's just, I think it depends on if both people are willing to shift. And I do remember us having a major shift. I moved to Spain for a year and then moved to LA, and it was she drove with me from North Carolina to LA when I came back from Spain, got my car and moved to LA, and she went on that trip, and I had not seen her much in a year. And we kind of like relearned each other a little bit.
That's cool.
On that trip, and always had this dynamic of I was the adult, I was the parent, and she was the child.
Mm-hmm.
And we had this moment where I kind of reprimanded her like you would a child, because it was our dynamic. She would do stuff where she needed reprimanding. Right? And someone, a security guard was like, don't talk to your mom like that. And you knew I was probably a punk 23-year-old, however old I was. And I went, oh yeah, like she is my mom. Like I need to allow her to take on this role now of like, you're the adult.
Right.
I don't need to act like your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like her stuff was situational. Like it was a moment in time in her whole life as opposed to who she was.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine, especially in her time, you get married, you think it's for life. When that rug is pulled out from under you or it doesn't work out like you thought it was going to, like your identity is then like, well, what now? I'm not. And at that point, it was a real faux pas to be divorced.
Yeah.
Now it's like everyone and their mothers knows someone who's divorced.
Yeah.
It was, and I was from a small town where it was like kind of a scarlet letter. So she was kind of like suddenly this outsider. There was like 2 other single women in town, and they were like a little trio, and the women around town were like, suddenly like, don't talk to my husband too long, kind of suddenly insecure around them, and my mom said it was pretty fascinating to see how some of her friendship shifted, how other women treated her shifted, and I was like, it was, I'm sure it couldn't have been easy.
No, it doesn't sound like it. Hard moment for her.
But, when you're 12, 13, you're not analyzing, how is this from my mom?
No, definitely that's not your focus. For any 12 or 13-year-old, you'd be pretty exceptional.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you reconciled, and that reconciled may not even be, that's too strong of a word.
Grew up, maybe.
Grew up. Yeah, whatever it is. That's awesome that you have your mom.
Thank you, yeah.
She sounds like a hoot.
Well, now she gives me lots of material, so... But that's why it was fun putting at the end of my special, if people watch through the credits, I have a clip at the very end of her at a comedy club. And the people that saw it really enjoyed it because they were like, wow, like you actually really sound like your mom. And seeing her just made all those stories come to life even more.
I didn't watch the whole credits. I'll have to go back and watch it.
Yeah, it's super short. But it's her, she says, I said, Mom, because I was doing a Q&A or something. I said, Mom, someone wants to know what you think about me being, using you as my material or whatever. And she goes, well, she does talk about me quite a bit. And I have never been compensated. And I went, but it's so her. And the hilarious part is that she's been compensated many times over, not in a like, here's a salary, but she's been taken. I don't like pay her bills, but if, I've been generous.
She's fine. Yes, she's fine. Yeah. She's gotten plenty, probably. Yeah.
So
that's funny.
It's just so fun. But that was such a real response for her. Was like, yeah, I'm not. Where's my piece of the pie?
I haven't been compensated. That's so funny. How funny. So, what are you working on now? I know you had this, like, as you called it, brain rot.
Yeah.
2 weeks. What do you do now? Where are you going now?
So now I'm coming out of my brain fog and brain rot. I had 2 weeks of nothing where I just shut it all down. I was kind of working on material back in November and then just sort of left that on the table. So now I'm back in work mode, starting to get the texts are already gearing back up. I'm like, oh boy, here we go again.
Here we go.
Which is like good. It's all good stuff. But I got to start hitting the local clubs, doing what Bert's doing tonight. Like I'm still giving myself this week. I don't feel like going to the clubs.
Yeah.
But starting next week, it's back at it. Just writing notes of what I think might be an interesting story, and then you got to put it up on its feet. So I'll do that. I've got like club dates coming up in California where I'll do like Ontario and Oxnard and Irvine, those kind of places where I can just do a bunch of shows in a weekend, build the act. And then April 1st is the new big theater tour
That's exciting.
It's very exciting. I just can't. It'll be here before I know it.
April 1st.
April 1st.
And is it through the end of the year?
Yeah. I mean, it'll be like these others that were, because I just have a list of like maybe 20 cities right now, and everyone's like, I can't believe you're not coming. And I'm like, this tour is going to be another year and a half.
Right.
It'll come in increments.
Yeah.
I have to plan my specials. I mean, not special. I have to plan my tours in chunks because of my acting.
Right.
FUBAR will come out the season 2 on Netflix sometime in the spring.
Exciting.
And then we have to hear if we have another season. I'm beholden to them schedule wise. That's why I can't just plan whatever. Mm-hmm. And then if that doesn't go, it'll just be hitting the road even harder.
So awesome. Are you enjoying FUBAR?
Yeah, I have a blast.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
Arnold's great.
You look like you have so much fun.
I laugh every day. I don't love like living in another, like Toronto's great, but I don't like living in another place for 5 months.
Yeah.
That's hard because I'm a homebody. So that would be my only like negative, but like my cast is great. We laugh all the time. Going to work is never a chore.
That's good.
And it's like fun action silliness, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's not something I normally get to do.
Yeah.
So it's great. And then I think this year the goal is to focus more on development again. I did development for a long time and then had some tough no's and then just kind of put it away for a bit. And now I'm back trying to create my own stuff.
That's great.
TV stuff, some movie stuff, and it's just getting the industry to give me a shot at doing my own thing.
Isn't that the truth?
You know, that it's so hard to get them to give you the thumbs up, and you're like, what else do you want from me? What else do I have to do to prove myself?
I know it feels like sometimes you almost have to deliver them what they don't know they want.
Yeah.
And say, this is it.
Yeah.
And that takes so much effort on the part of the artist to get something like if you were going to do a TV show to shoot 3 episodes and go, this is what I'm trying to sell you. And then they understand it.
That's true. Yeah.
It's hard to do. It takes a monumental amount of effort.
Yeah. So
to get anything done. And at the end of the day, you're touring, you have FUBAR right now, and you have podcasts. You have so much going on.
Yeah. Handsome.
How many podcasts do you have?
I do the Handsome Pod with Tig Notaro, May Martin. That's we do a episode, full and mini episode every week. And then the radio show with Tom Papa, going on 5 years now for Netflix on SiriusXM.
He is the best guy.
He's great. He's a really good guy.
He came to our holiday party for our company.
Yeah.
And some of my friends were there. You were out of town. No. Some of my friends were there. And he walked in the door. My friend Steven goes, is that Tom Papa?
Aww.
Is that Tom Papa? He's my favorite comic. I didn't know you know Tom Papa. He just lost his mind over Tom.
He's great.
He's the sweetest guy.
Good guy. Great advice.
So
smart
funny.
guy. Really great writer. And just,
I love his books.
I know. It's really cool that you guys were posting about his books. He really appreciated that.
I love them.
Yeah.
They make me so happy because I know him.
Yeah.
And everybody knows who he is. I mean, you can hear him saying what you're reading, which makes it so much better.
Oh, he's smart. He's
so
very
smart
talented.
and makes good bread.
That's right.
We gave him a nice sourdough knife. I wonder if he liked it.
I'm sure.
It's a weird,
That's a great present.
It was really cool. Anyway. Well, I'm so glad you came by to chat. And I'm so proud of your special. It's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, if anybody wants to watch it, it's crushing it on Netflix. And if you want to see me on tour, my website has all those dates.
That's awesome. So happy for you.
Thanks, LeeAnn.
It's so good to see you.
You too, bud.